Good evening, everybody. Welcome to At Lafayette Live here on Monday, March 3rd, 2025. Hope your week's off to a great start. Hope you enjoyed your Monday, that it wasn't too terribly bad. Getting back into the swing of things after what was hopefully a pretty great weekend. We are experiencing what I think some of the memes are calling second winter, false winter. Not sure what it is out there right now. Little was nice and warm, and it's cooled back off, but the forecast has it saying 57 tomorrow. It actually got to 48 today, so that's not really that bad. 57 tomorrow, but then down into the mid 40s for the rest of the week. But my goodness, the extended forecast going into next week, next Tuesday and Wednesday, high of 68 degrees. Maybe I'll turn the pilot light off and save some propane. Probably not quite yet. Still gets down to freezing a bit overnight between here and actual spring. But welcome to At Lafayette Live. I'm Jeff Gooch, your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice with the Russell Company, powered by At Properties. And I love that you join us here every Monday for At Lafayette Live, sponsored by the Lafayette Real. We talk about all things Lafayette and West Lafayette, Tippecanoe County, West Central Indiana, the Greater Lafayette area. Fun things to do, fun news, good news for the area. Tonight we got a lot to talk about, but before we do, drop in the chat where you're watching from. It's always neat to see where people are joining us from. I'm sitting in the northern part of Tippecanoe County right now. It's dark outside, but you know what? Daylight savings time. Or is it the end of daylight savings time? I can never keep those straight. The clocks change in about 6 more days, Saturday night. And I, for one, am here for it. I can't wait. I love summer around here. I love those late nights where sunset is like 10:30 at night. I'll take that any time over dark and short days of winter. I'm such a creature of the sun and of light and of long days. I'm so much more efficient and so much more productive when it's warm outside. So glad you're all here. Had a week off last week. The schedule just didn't line up, but I'm so glad that you're here. So let's dive in. But before we do, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button so you don't ever miss a minute of what we produce here on the Lafayette Reel. New content all of the time. So first off, today is going to be a whole lot of development news. We're going to be talking about the area plan council, the board of zoning appeals. We're going to be talking a lot about their meetings and what's coming West Lafayette. So these are things that are coming in the future, or maybe not, as these commissions and committees and councils vote, but they're going to directly impact the future of our lives here in the Greater Lafayette area. And I lead off with going on right now over at Marjoram City Hall in West Lafayette. The West Lafayette City Council should be voting on an ordinance to allow accessory dwelling units in West Lafayette. We've called them a lot of things here: granny shacks, mother-in-law quarters, but these are smaller secondary spaces. Think of the apartment over the garage, the backyard building that's more than a shed, but still not quite a house unto itself, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 to 700 square feet. The city council brought it to a vote, or attempted to bring it to a vote a meeting or two ago, and it wound up being tabled after some concern from constituents, and the council members have been really reaching out to their constituents, to the residents of West Lafayette concerning this. It is one little piece of the puzzle as to how Mayor Aaron Easter and the rest of the West Lafayette administration envision perhaps helping to ease housing concerns in the West Lafayette area. And the concerns really center around the density that already exists in West Lafayette, and what that's going to do to increase that density, and what's that going to do for parking, what's that going to do for resources and facilities in town. The flip side of this, and I've talked to a couple of developers about this and a couple of homeowners who have perhaps a little more positive outlook on this, is the number of homes that this would actually happen to would be a couple a handful a year, 1, 2, 3 a year, because first off, you have to be interested, and not everybody is. And second off, you have to have the money to do it. And third off, you do have to have the zoning to do it. So there are a lot of hurdles there. So it's not like everybody and their brother would go have an accessory dwelling unit in their backyard tomorrow. Now, what that looks like in 10 and 20 years, I don't know. Could it be a lot? I get the feeling that it wouldn't be, but I understand being a property owner in West Lafayette, wanting to protect your property values, wanting to protect your neighborhoods. So we'll see. That's going on right now. It started about 36 minutes ago. I can't multitask that much. I can't have a window open with their council meeting going on while I'm trying to talk to you guys. So if you happen to be there and you're watching this at the same time, wow, that's amazing. But drop in the chat what's going on there. But we'll definitely be following up on that. So that's our first bit of development news. Hit the like and subscribe button. Don't miss a minute of the content that we put out here on the Lafayette Reel and every week on @Lafayette Live. Little detour off of development news. We'll call this development adjacent news because part of people living in any particular area is quality of life, and that is what is there to do. What kind of shopping do you have? Do you have grocery stores? Do you have recreational facilities? And this is a great news. West Lafayette has announced that Kaysen Family Park is going to open on May 22nd. This is a brand new park over at the intersection of 231 and Cumberland. Bring up the map. I'll get this street name right. Zoom. That's Cherry. Yeah, I was right. Cumberland. Cumberland and 52, the new bypass. It's a really, really cool looking park. They've got some awesome play structures. It's 14 acres of retired farmland. They've got a playground, a scenic pond, the restored Morris Schoolhouse, which is a one-room schoolhouse that's been preserved. It's going to open on May 22nd, and I think it's a really cool-looking park. We drive by there all the time, and I think my kids are excited about trying that park out. So May 22nd, Kaysen Family Park is opening in West Lafayette. Always good to have more fun things to do here. A park, maybe it's small. One small thing, but it's something, right? All right. How you guys doing so far? Another not directly related to development. I don't know if you knew this, but there is an area in downtown Lafayette, the 1000 block of Main Street, that you can actually carry out your drinks. And I'm talking about your alcohol, your beer, your wine, your cocktails. And the idea, I think, was to create an outdoor atmosphere of, I'm going to use a big word here, conviviality, of, making this an active area where people want to be. And this started, it's the designated outdoor refreshment area, and it allows someone 21 or older to buy alcoholic beverages from approved vendors and retail establishments and carry them outside to be consumed within approved boundaries. And since the state instituted this rule in 2023, 33 of these areas have been set up around the state. And now we are talking about expanding it. And let's see if I can bring up the map here. I think I can do this. There you go. So here's the map. Main Street from, I believe that is 9th Street, all the way down to the river. And then includes the courthouse, comes down here to 26. So that really, really expands the area. You'll see that in this particular sign, the yellow is the boundary of this Dora district, the Main Street district. The reds are where signs are going to be posted saying you may not take your drink any further, and if you do, well, we're going to maybe arrest you. And who has permits right now for this? That's a good list of restaurants. There are 14. We have Ritual down here. We'll go west to east. We got Ritual. If you like pool, you should check them out. Right next door, Red 7. And next door to that, Capo. I believe it's Capo. Black Sparrow, perennial favorite there. Then moving on east, just past the courthouse, we got Digby's. The world famous Knickerbocker Saloon. They have a very, very active music scene there. The Lobby by Gray House. I thought that was an interesting one. I did not realize that they served alcohol. Lafayette Brew Co., if you haven't been and you like beer, you should go check it out. They are the original local brewery here in Lafayette, and we have a thriving local beer scene, but they were the harbingers of things to come, and if you haven't checked out Lafayette Brew Co., you definitely should. Next door, some tasty food at DT Kirby's. Moving on down to Bert's Place, which I have not tried, but I need to. I'm afraid I'm not a bourbon fan, but 648 Bourbon and Cigar. And then hopping on down to the original district boundary all the way down here at the east end, you have the Cellar Wine Bistro, East End Grill, and one of my favorites, Ripple & Co. Their second floor patio in the summer is a great place to eat, people watch, have a good time. But so that's the Main Street Dora district, and I think that that's going to really ratchet up to the next level the scene downtown. You know, there's always people talking about like making a scene downtown, like making it active, not seen as in the negative connotation of scene. You know, a music scene, a vibe, if you will. And I have a feeling that this is really going to help. It's going to draw people downtown, and it's going to have help people stay downtown and want to really engage with local businesses. The proposed hours are 5 to 10 p.m. Monday to Thursday. On Fridays, 5 to 11. On Saturdays, noon to 11 p.m. And again, on Sundays, noon to 10 p.m. So not 24/7. But the Lafayette City Council is actually meeting about this right now. There's a lot going on tonight. We're here. The West Lafayette City Council is meeting. The Lafayette City Council is meeting. So there you go. What do you guys think about that? Drop your comments in the chat, and if you're watching the video later, leave a comment below. Are you excited about this? I am. You know, I know that there's going to be concerns about, you know, what is it going to be like when people are drunk in public and, you know, are they disorderly and everything? I think that Lafayette is going to do a good job of policing itself, and for those who just can't, the Lafayette police will do a good job of policing for them, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think that this is a net positive. I think things that attract people to our downtown district, that make it so that people want to be there and hang out there and enjoy local businesses is good. So I'm excited about that. Hit the subscribe button. Are you here every Monday? Do you see all of our videos? We post all of the time, and if you hit the subscribe button over my face there, you won't miss a minute of what we post here on the Lafayette Reel. And if I can help you with home here in the Lafayette area, go to thelafayettereel.com/YouTube. Fill out the form and let me know how I can help you with home here in the Greater Lafayette area. All right, we're going to start diving into a lot of this development stuff that I keep hinting at. And there's a lot of overlap in here, so I'm going to try to keep these subjects straight, but there'll probably be a little bit of hopping around. So the Area Plan Commission meets every month. They last met February 19th. They will meet again on March 19th. So a few of these stories, some items were brought up and then tabled for the March meeting. Some items passed, but first up, from the February 19th meeting, I thought this was interesting. A development has been, planning approval has been given for a development at the corner of intersection of Cumberland and US 231 North. So oddly enough, let's pop back into the map here. We were talking about the park being right here. This development is right here. And the petitioner, Cumberland Development Partners, so this is a Ryan Kennedy project. He's a developer here in town who's done a lot of work in Lafayette and West Lafayette. He's a great guy if you haven't met him. He's requesting zoning on approximately 9.2 acres for a multifamily residential development. 10 four-story apartment buildings with a mix of 1 and 2 bedroom units, a total of 320 units, almost 400 parking spaces. So that is clearly, I won't say it's in reaction to, but it's definitely in service of the housing situation that's ongoing at Purdue, and there's not enough beds to go around. It's definitely not on top of Purdue, but it's basically as bad as on top of Purdue as you can be with the available development land that's currently clear in the city. I mean, there's really not that much that you can develop that's right on top of the university. So that's coming. That's a new apartment building. And then this one's been in the news a little bit, and it was originally placed before the Area Plan Commission in their last meeting, but it was moved forward to March 19th at the petitioner's request. The Wida family currently owns an apartment building down on South River Road, and we'll bring up the map on this one. So the apartment building currently exists. I want to get the address right. Make sure I'm showing you the right one. Okay, there it is. So it's right next to the roundabout. Here we go. 271 South River Road. So here's the River Road, Tapawingo Drive roundabout here. We'll zoom out a little bit more and you can kind of see where we're talking about. Here's the university. This is a current 4-story building, 3 buildings, and the Widas want to redevelop that into a maximum 12-story building that will contain a maximum of 268 units and a minimum of a 176 space internal parking garage. So this is the continuation of our high-rise-ish development in the Chauncey Village area, in the area to the southeast of campus. There are a number of high-rises around campus right now. From what I understand, they're limited to about that 12-story mark because of the FFA control tower and the Purdue University Airport, and that's indeed why things aren't going even higher than that. So 12 stories is definitely a high-rise. But the interesting thing about that for me, if you dig a little deeper into this, is a lot of these large-scale developments that have been happening, I'm talking about the big ones, have largely been led by out-of-town developers. Now, a lot of time they have some connection where, hey, I was at Purdue, but I'm not anymore. But this one, the Wida family, is a Lafayette area family who has been in housing and student housing for years. And so this is a local investor, a local property company investing in a big way in our area. And I thought that was an interesting take on this development process. I've talked a lot to a lot of people about my concerns about these developments and what happens when these out-of-town developers perhaps lose interest in West Lafayette for whatever reason, and what happens to these large buildings. It's one thing to take care of and maintain, a single family home, an apartment complex that has 4 apartments, an apartment complex of 2-story apartments, but, they're still only 2 stories versus, a high rise. We won't go so far as calling them skyscrapers, but the mechanicals are bigger, more expensive, more complex in some cases. So it's interesting and I think good to see local development companies getting in on this. And I think that is good for the future of development in our area. If you don't know, I'm Jeff Gooch with the Russell Company, powered by App Properties, and I would love to be your Lafayette local real estate resource of choice. If you live here and you're thinking about selling, if you're thinking about buying a home here, if you're watching from somewhere around the country and you're interested in moving to Lafayette, if you're a student, parent of a student, faculty, future faculty member, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube and fill out the form and let me know how I can help you find and love home here in the Greater Lafayette area. And continuing on with our development news tonight, this one was a little harder to miss. Arbor Homes, which is a home builder that has a lot of development neighborhoods down in the Indy area, and I think elsewhere around the country, but definitely down in the Indy area, has proposed a 306 home subdivision plan that is just north and kind of part of Rainy Brook. They were proposing 306 homes at the intersection of County Road 500 South and US 231. So let's go to our map one more time and take a look at this. Just want to see. Okay. It's pretty obvious where they're talking about. So here's the map again. Here's the airport, the 231 heading south out of town, and I'm going to zoom in. Can you guess where we're talking about? Yep, this area right in here. So this is Rainy Brook, a couple of different areas of Rainy Brook. The original is down here, and then it expanded out. And they want to put this development in this general vicinity right here. It's 105 acres, 306 lots. The residents of Rainy Brook came out in force to the Area Plan Commission meeting in February to express their displeasure with this development. And I got opinions about this, as clearly their residents do as well. But as a result, the APC, the Area Plan Commission, voted 7-6 against recommending rezoning. But 9 votes are required to either reject or accept the request, and if it's accepted, to move it on to the Tippecanoe County Commissioners for their approval. So 7 votes against were not enough, so that pushes it forward for reconsideration into the March meeting. And some of the highlights of what was said and what went on there is talks of concerns of traffic and density. And taking the best view of that concern, I understand where people are coming from. They don't want to wait for traffic if the streets, if the feeder streets can't support it. But the other part of me, the flip side says, we need homes in the Greater Lafayette area. And where are they supposed to go, and how big or small are they supposed to be? And maybe I'm wading into a morass of ticking some people off in Rainy Brook. If you make the lots bigger, make the houses bigger, they get more expensive. And where are people supposed to build and buy and live? It's a conundrum for sure. I certainly understand wanting to protect your investment and protect your home values. I think that more development increases home values and doesn't decrease home values. Apparently there was a petition with more than 600 signatures, and there was a standing room crowd only at the APC meeting where this failed 7-6. So it's a very, very, very big deal that has a lot of people worked up. Let's take a look at the development plan, at the development map. So here it is. So this is 500 South. And 231. So they opened the front of the neighborhood with some bigger lots to try to appease people, and then smaller lots towards the back. But that wasn't enough to make everybody happy. I think I've said everything that I kind of can say about that. I'm really kind of not certain what else to say about that other than I get it. I do understand. But we'll see what happens on this. The fact of the matter is that Lafayette, we desperately, desperately need more homes. And here's a developer trying to build more homes in the area. And we'll see what happens. All right, moving on. There are a few other things going on development-wise. None that will as much directly influence our day-to-day lives. The Purdue Research Foundation are working on a few projects. They were going to put up this barn and have a new fancy restaurant in what is now Squirrel Park on the Purdue University campus. So if you want a steak, there'll be another place for you to go in town. But the next big bit of development news that I thought was interesting, and I believe that this is on the agenda for the next meeting to be voted on. There's a proposal before the Area Plan Commission for a rezone of just under 40 acres for a proposed single-family subdivision of 123 lots on the north side of 450 North between 375 West and 300 West. So here's what we're talking about. Let's bring the map up again. Here's West Lafayette. You can see Freddy's right here. That's Menards. Here's Cassin's Tree Farm, where we would get our family Christmas tree every year. That's 500 North, but I'm going to go ahead and zoom in and zoom in. We are looking roughly in this area here. So this developer wants to bring in a new subdivision of 123 lots. Again, 123 homes are not going to solve our housing shortage in the Greater Lafayette area, but it is 123 homes. It is another neighborhood. We desperately need more homes. I have a feeling that this one will pass. We will find out what happens in a couple of weeks. But like I said, a lot of development news, a lot of development stuff before the Area Plan Commission in these couple of months. So we'll see what happens with all of that, and hopefully we'll get some new homes for people to live in here in the Greater Lafayette area. But I would love to hear what you think about all of that. Leave a comment below. Drop in the discussion what you think about all of this development. But next, we are going to take some house tours. I know everybody always, well, we got a lot of positive feedback about our home tours here. So we got a couple of different styles of houses to look at tonight. And we're going to start with 1402 Kingswood Road in West Lafayette. This is one of the most expensive homes in West Lafayette. So that's a picture of it. 1402 Kingswood Road in West Lafayette. Let's take a look at the map. This is just a little north of town. Just a little, though. I'm going to keep zooming out and zooming out. I'm sorry, it's just a little, my direction's confused. A little south of town. So here is it is a little north, a little west of town. I'll get my direction straight here. Goodness gracious me. Here's Purdue University. There are quite a few of these over this way to the west of Purdue now. These are farms that are getting chopped up into larger executive lots, if you will, an acre, acre and a half, 2 acres, 5 acres in some cases. So I'm going to move some windows around to get us ready here. So let's take a look. (1402) Kingswood Road, West Lafayette. This is a 7-bed, 4-bath home in the modern-ish style. 5,382 square feet, an acre and a half, currently listed for, sit down, $1.2 million. So I say that it's modern in style in that it's got these pillars and it's got, you know, the glass out front, but it still has the dark siding and brick. So it's an interesting pastiche going on there. But let's take a look. There's the entryway. Love the glass pane doors and the big sunburst light up above. And this is definitely, you feel that modern. You got the light wood floors. You have the white and you have the white cabinets and off-white. They have a TV, what appears to be a TV over the fireplace. I'm sorry, that qualifies as TV too high. If you don't know what that is, go look it up on Reddit. Dining nook, dining area, overlooking the neighbor's farm. Little office nook with the tray ceilings in the office. Eat-in kitchens, so you can see here that, you know, here's the kitchen with that dining room that we were looking at just off of it, and then the living room that we're currently standing in, so the fireplace just behind us. There you go. Lots of tray ceilings in this one. The gas range. That is one of the more interesting refrigerators that I have seen lately. The double drawers and the pull handles on those are quite unique. They're very, very proud of this kitchen. Now look at that pantry. All the food storage in the cabinets, room for appliances on the shelves, and the wine fridge down below. That is maybe the best pantry I've ever seen. I believe that we head downstairs. You can tell that by the escape window right here for your living area den downstairs. You have the wet bar, another wine fridge. Stock up on your wines when you buy this one. Buy this one with me, and I'll buy you some wine to get one of your fridges started. I like the backsplash there. Interesting how the feature wall melds up with the plain drywall on the other wall. That, I have seen some roomy showers lately. That might be the roomiest I have seen in a while. Double benches. And a really not ostentatious tub for what the rest of the house really kind of is. I mean, is it a shower? Is it a sauna? Is it both? Does it say? I'm just trying to see if there are any notes on what this shower might be. There are not. The primary suite with its own private door out to the back porch. That is a gigantic closet. Comes with a lot of Louis Vuitton as well. And we start getting into the secondary bedrooms and bathrooms. Big, big windows in this. Head back down to the downstairs area, to the rec room area. I like what they've done here with the wood look to cover up the mechanicals. That looks nice. Theater room, done right. Theater rooms are should be dark. You want that high contrast with your actual movie. I don't think they got quite around to setting this up as a movie theater just yet. I think this is just so much better than just, your normal whatever you would have down there to hide the beam. Looks really good. They have this part of the basement set up as a workout room. Downstairs bathroom with the cabinets looks quite nice, and there's also a downstairs bedroom, so it must be there's 7 bedrooms. I'm not even going to try to count where each one is. So there's the back porch that I was talking about, where you have the door off the living room, but there's also a door off the primary suite. Needs a little bit of landscaping yet. So there you go, 1402 Kingswood Road, West Lafayette. 7 bedrooms, 4 baths, 5,382 square feet, 1.53 acres, $1.2 million. If you'd like to buy that, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube and fill out the form. I'd love to talk to you. Next up in our tour of homes here in the Greater Lafayette area, get my windows rearranged one more time. We're going to look at 1710 Danielle Lane. Let's take a look here. Beautiful brick home. Place it on the map. Sorry. So again, this one is just a little northeast of Purdue University. You can see Tippecanoe Amphitheater Park. This is the intersection of at mile marker 178, North River Road and 65, Purdue University down this way. And that puts it on the map. Let's take a look. Again, 1710 Danielle Lane, West Lafayette. 4 bedrooms, 7 baths, 5,098 square feet, also 1.56 acres, currently listed $925,000. But I thought this was another interesting home that's currently for sale here in West Lafayette. You got the circle drive out front. Look at that stunning, stunning entryway. You got the columns, you got the archway. I rather like that. I don't particularly love the color palette, but I do like the architecture of it. Maybe swap out that light fixture. You got the fireplace with the great built-ins, great formal living room. You can see the formal dining room and the eat-in attached off of that, looking out over the back deck. You know, I do get so sick of looking at, the modern grays and off-white sort of thing. But this is just kind of feels like solidly 80s too. So it doesn't exactly make me happy either. But you know what? You can buy it and make it your own for $925,000. Here we go. You can start to see the kitchen looking at this shot with its eat-in area, both with wooden floors. Great bay window overlooking the nature outside. This is an interesting setup. So much of kitchen design is based around the triangle, and they've really kind of broken it here. Look, the stove, the cooktop is in the middle was at one end of the island, and the prep sink is on a corner of the island, directly across from the dishwashing sink. It's definitely not the triangle arrangement. What do you think about this? There's the formal dining room with the coffered tray ceilings up above. That is quite lovely. And we have the sitting room off of that area. Sunroom, perhaps, maybe you could call it, with all those windows. We move into the primary suite with a interesting looking tray ceiling. It's got the stamped drywall. Lots of carpet. Big closet, but I don't think it's a gigantic closet by any means. I think they were going for Romanesque with this tub setup. Kind of need something on this big wall back here. Sculpture, perhaps. Here I am being an art critic. Lots and lots and lots of counter space to be had on this one. Large shower. And we move into a secondary bedroom that is still on the main floor. Looks out the front. Must be the guest bedroom. It's probably right off of the main entryway there. Moving along and through secondary bedrooms, this also has an ensuite. Once you've seen one bedroom, you've seen them all, right? Laundry room. Then we move downstairs, and you can tell that here's the well window, the escape window. Wet bar for entertaining. Maybe get rid of the carpet. Don't have to worry about spilling your red wine that way. TV room. Look at that TV. Comes with the house. 3-car garage, all brick. Brick patio out back. And that is 1710 Danielle Way in West Lafayette. $925,000. 4 bedrooms, 7 baths, 5,098 square feet, 1.56 acres. What do you think of that one? Take a minute, hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss a moment of our videos here on the Lafayette Reel. The next house that we're going to take a look at tonight is 4201 Eisenhower Road in Lafayette. This one is not the most expensive house in town. There's a couple of specific reasons that I really wanted to look at this one. But here it is, 4201 Eisenhower Road. This is a 3-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,607 square feet. Comes with 6.5 acres. Currently priced at $574,900. Let's take a look at it on the map, which has some of why I wanted to look at it. It's in Wildcat Highlands. Wildcat Creek Highlands. Here's the map. And here we are. Here's Wildcat Creek. This is I-65. So the downside is it's relatively close to I-65. You're probably going to have some traffic noise. If that doesn't bother you, then great. But let's zoom out a bit more here. And we'll see. Northeast side of Lafayette. Here's Lafayette. Here's West Lafayette and Purdue University. So it's over here. But I want to zoom back in on this because, and there's a picture that really shows it. Wildcat Highlands, not Wildcat Creek Highlands. It is on Wildcat Creek. Look at that. Let's jump in. Let's jump into a tour, and you'll see why I thought this was such a cool house. First off, I do rather like the outside style. It's kind of got these German storybook style eaves on the front. The stonework kind of makes you feel like you're at, Grandma's cottage, and you should be looking for Little Red Riding Hood to escape the big bad wolf or something like that. But I like the architecture. It does kind of have that nature of what you have with waterfront homes where the garage really, really kind of sticks out the front. And that's a little unfortunate, but it's kind of par for the course. But here is why I really wanted to look at this house. Check out the house. Here is Wildcat Creek. You can't get any closer. But it's high enough, so I believe it's not in a flood zone. We would confirm that before sending an offer. And if you want to send an offer, hit thelafayettereal.com/YouTube, fill out the form, and let's go take a look and get this house bought for you. Great colors, great location, and there are stairs down to the Wildcat Creek. Now you can see why I really wanted to look at this home. I just thought it was fantastic. But then we move inside, and we have the soaring ceilings in the A-frame style front of the house. I've always kind of been a sucker for this style. I do rather like it. I like this area up above. I like the connected feeling of the active areas of the home, of the dining and living area to the den, office, work area, toy area that you have upstairs. I've always liked that. May not be for you, but I like it. You got the windows and the door that goes out onto the patio that overlook the Wildcat. Big, open, airy feeling. And it's a big home, but not humongous big. 3,600 square feet. I mean, that's big. I'm not saying it's small, but it's not gigantic either. You have the exposed beam ceiling here in the dining area. That area that we were just looking at is right up above there. I like a spiral staircase. I understand it may not be for everybody, but I think that has a certain architectural whimsy that you don't see every day. The color palette in the kitchen, you take it or leave it. It's only paint. You can always change it if you don't like seafoam green. Got the eat-in area there at the end of the kitchen with, again, windows looking out over the Wildcat. It's just so connected to the Wildcat, and I'm just a big sucker for that. Move into our primary suite, and it looks like a bedroom with an ensuite bath that, is a bathroom that isn't ostentatious. It's perfectly serviceable. A really nice-looking laundry room. Moving into some secondary bedrooms. Because, again, there are 3 bedrooms and 4 baths in this house. So here's bath number 2 with the stand-up shower. This they have set up as a sewing room. It looks like this might be one of the actual bedrooms. And, again, we're back out to the upstairs, to this bonus area upstairs. But then we move downstairs into the basement, into the bar. you have the stonework and the fireplace in the corner and this patio that overlooks the Wildcat. That's bar. It's actually got the racks for your glassware, for your drinkware. Moving down to the downstairs. Oh my goodness! I might go write an offer on this house right now if I didn't love my house so much. If you like wine, there you go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, 500, 700 bottles of wine you could store in there, probably. I like wine. I make wine. One of the reasons I'm not ever going to sell my house because my vineyard's right out there. But look at that wine rack. Look at that green kitchen. I'm not even sure it's avocado green. I think it might be too bright to be called avocado green. And I don't think that's retro. Maybe, I don't think that's original. I think that might be like retro on purpose. It's a little hard to tell, but I do rather like it in that kitschy sort of way. And then looking out the back, this is, how can you beat that? I was talking about like the German storybook crinkly cut on the eaves here. You've got the back deck and the back porch, the stone stairs and the banister. And that is right there. Right there. And you can go canoeing and kayaking on the Wildcat. Absolutely. We've done it many, many times. Got a second floor gazebo up there on the back deck. Look at that. That's lovely. I think calling that a gazebo is an understatement. Little sitting area. Got the park light. Mr. Tumnus might show up. So now you can see why I really, really wanted to show you this one. 4201 Eisenhower Road in Lafayette. 3 bedroom, 4 bath, 3,607 square feet, 6.5 acres, $574,900. And if you'd like to go see that, write an offer on it. Fill out the form at thelafayettereal.com/YouTube. Thank you so much for joining this week. I'm Geoff Gooch with the Russell Company powered by App Properties, and I would love to be your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice. If you're looking to buy or sell here in the Lafayette area, if you live here, if you're moving here, if you're thinking about moving here, I would love to work with you. Please reach out to me. You can send me a message here. You can go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out the form, send me a text message. All of my contact information is here. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure that you don't miss any of the content that we put out here on the Lafayette Real. Day in and day out, we're posting new videos about things to do here in the Lafayette area, home tours, neighborhood tours, development info like we talked about tonight. Just make sure that you don't miss a minute of it. It means the world to us to see our subscribers join us and enjoy the content that we work so hard for developing for you guys. But until next Monday for our next edition of At Lafayette Live, thank you guys so very much and have a great week.